ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا من يهدئ الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد فإن خير الحديث كتاب الله وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. We give thanks to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We ask for His salat and His salam on Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increase our knowledge, our iman, and make every one of us steadfast on the path of the Sunnah of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Inshallah, we continue the reading and the explanation of the book العقيده الصحيحة وما يضادها ونواقض الاسلام, a book written by Sheikh Abdul Aziz bin Baz rahimahullah ta'ala on the issues of the sound Aqeedah and what opposes it and the invalidators of Islam. The Shaykh continued in giving us some of the living examples of the way and the manner that people engage in associating partners in the worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He said, أما المشركون المتأخرون فزادوا على الأولين من جهتين، إحداهما شرك بعضهم في الربوبية، والثانية شركهم في الرخاء والشدة. He said the later polytheists, those who associate the partners in the worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, those who make the level, the right of the human beings, the creatures, with the right of Allah, those who divert the worship of only one God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to other deities. The Shaykh compared the past polytheists, those who are the people of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who also fell into the same sin of shirk. He compared the past ones with the present ones, saying, أما المشركون المتأخرون, the polytheists of our present days of life, فزادوا على الأولين من جهتين, they are worse than the early polytheists on two reasons. إحداهما شرك بعضهم في الربوبية. The first reason is that the modern polytheists, some of them also disbelieved. They rejected the right of Allah to creation, the right of Allah to control of the affairs of the universe, which the early polytheists believed in. The early polytheists believed that there is no creator except only one God, and He is the only one that provides the nails for the creators. He is the one that controls the affairs of all things. But they fail to give their worship to him alone. But the modern polytheists, not only that they fail to give their worship to only one God, they also did not believe that this world has a creator. This world has a sustainer, and the affairs of the world is being controlled by only one God. Then number 2, شركهم في الرخاء وشدة كما يعلم ذلك من خالقهم وصبر أحوالهم ورأى ما يفعلون عند قبر الحسين والبدوي وغيرهم في مصر. The second reason why their case is even worse than the early polytheists is that the past polytheists only rejected the worship of only one God when they were at peace, when they were at comfort. But at the time of hardship and calamity, they believe in the worship of only one God. They call upon him alone. They surrender themselves to him, and they made their request from him alone. While the modern polytheists did not recognize the worship of only one God, either at the time of comfort and at the time of ease, or at the time of hardship or calamity. The Sheikh said that who has the opportunity to study them would know that this is what they normally do. And examples of this is cited what people normally do at the grave of Al-Hussein and Al-Badawi and other personalities like that. People go to their graves to ask for protection, to ask for sustenance, to ask for long life and prosperity. وعند قبر العدروس في أردن. The same thing happens in Jordan, والهادي في اليمن, also in the city of Yemen, the grave of Al-Hadi. You see Muslims, they go there, the Muslim and non-Muslim, they go there to ask for their needs, asking the dead to cater for them, to protect them, to sustain their provisions, and also to protect their lives. The rights that only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala deserves that. No one on the surface of the earth among the creatures that we must relate with this except our Creator. Only one God. So but people, the ignorant Muslims and the non-Muslims, you see some of them, they go to the graves of some personalities to ask for their needs, their protection, to ask for their safety, and they seek refuge in them. وابن عربي في الشام, also in Syria, in Sham, you see some people, they go to the grave of Ibn Arabi. Some of them even circumambulate the graves of those personalities. The same thing we have in Lagos State here. Some people will go to the grave of some Yoruba scholars like Sheikh Abdul Adam al-Hilari. They move down to his grave, asking, requesting from him protection, personalities, to save them, to protect them, to guide them, to make them successful in the world. This is shirk. It is shirk. But Sheikh Abdul Qadir al-Jilani in Iraq, people also go to the grave of the Sheikh Abdul Qadir Jilani, a renowned scholar, a Sunni scholar who had died more than 600 years ago, even 700 years ago. So people go to his grave asking him for protection, asking him for their daily meals and daily breads. This is nothing than shirk, polytheism, an act that Islam totally condemns. وغيرها من القبور المشهورة التي قبلت فيها العامة وصرفوا لها الكثير من حق الله عز وجل. The Sheikh said, and there are many more of those graves of those personalities that people go there to act, to exercise their shirk activities there. And people go there that they exercise the extreme services, because in Islam we are only permitted to visit the grave or the graveyard just to pray for those who are buried in the grave, to ask Allah to forgive them, to ask Allah to make things, not to punish them. So that is it. We are not to go there to seek for our own daily meals from those who are dead, because when they were alive they could not do anything, let alone to talk of after their death. So it is only one God, our Creator, who created everything on the surface of the earth. It is only Him that we rely upon, that we ask our needs from. It is only Him that we seek refuge and protection from. No one else. وَقَلَّ مَنْ يُنْكِرُ عَلَيْهِمْ ذَلِكَ وَيُبَيِّنْ لَهُمْ حقيقة التوحيد الذي بعث الله به نبيه محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. Sheikh Abdul Aziz bin Baz rahimahullah said, hardly you see some people, hardly you see someone that will condemn these activities that people do around the graves, which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not permit. Hardly. Yes, go to Sudan, you will see what they call a mausoleum. Mausoleum is a very big, gigantic house built on the grave of a personality. People go inside. Some of them make tawaf. They move around the grave. Some of them only stand. All of them, they bring their knees to that personality buried in the grave, believing that he has the ability to solve their problems, to cater for their needs. Go to different places, Sudan, Mauritania, Egypt, go to the north, even to the south, west here, the western part of the country, Nigeria here, many places like that. And that's why Islam condemns burying a dead Muslim in the house. Islam condemns that. We take our corpses to the graves, to the Muslim graveyard for burial. And if at all we want to visit, we visit for their own benefit. The dead people cannot benefit the Muslims. They cannot benefit the living. The dead cannot benefit the living. Yes. It is the living that can benefit the dead. How? We move down to the graves. We ask Allah to protect them, to save them from the punishment. Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, whenever we visit the graveyard, we should say, Assalamu alaikum, ya ala diyar min al-Muslimin wal mu'minin. The peace of Allah should be on you, the believers in this place. وَنَسْأَلُ اللَّهُ لَنَا وَلَكُمُ الْعَافِيَةَ. We ask Allah to protect you. We ask Allah to forgive you. We ask Allah to overlook your sins. وَإِنَّا إِنْشَاءَ اللَّهُ بِكُمْ لَحِقُونَ. Very soon we are coming to meet you. This is only what we are requested to do as conscious Muslims. And this is the sunnah of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So, doing anything aside this is not allowed. Of asking them to support us, to protect us, to sustain our lives, to give us success and prosperity, this is not allowed in Sharia. This is what we call polytheism, because that right is not meant for them. It's only meant for our Creator, and it's part of the worship that He deserves. So it's very rare to see someone condemning this attitude of the people at the graveyards, except those who understand the concept of Tawheed, those who understand the concept of monotheism, the reason why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created us, the right of God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. ونسأله سبحانه أن يردهم إلى رشدهم وأن يكثر بينهم دعاة الهدى. She said, we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to guide those perpetrators of this evil practice. And we ask Allah as well to increase the number of the good scholars, that will call them to the guidance of Allah. وأن يوفق قادة المسلمين وعلماءهم لمحاربة هذا الشرك والقضاء عليه إنه سميع قريب. And may Allah make it easy for the Muslim leaders also to see that it is their responsibility to curb this attitude, to stop people from going to the graves asking the people buried in the grave what they need to ask their God. ومن العقائد المضادة للعقيدة الصحيحة في باب الأسماء والصفات عقائد البدع والجهمية والمعتزلة. The Sheikh said, among the wrong beliefs that can contaminate or destroy one's sound Aqeedah in Allah, in the Prophet, in the messengers, and so on and so forth, is what some people are committed of errors of beliefs in the aspects of the names and the qualities of Allah. We have some groups like that. The people of Ahlul Bid'ah, min al-Jahmiyya wal-Mu'tazila. You know, Jahmiyya is a group, Jahmiism. This group does not believe in the names and the qualities of Allah. While the Mu'tazila believe in the names but do not believe in the qualities. وَمَنْ سَلَكَ سَبِيلَهُمْ فِي نَفْيِ صِفَاتِ اللَّهِ عَزَّ وَجَلَّ. And those that also follow them in suit in rejecting the qualities of God. وَتَعْطِيلُهُ سُبْحَانَهُ مِنْ صِفَاتِ الْكَمَالِ. And also those who also totally reject the qualities of God. There are some groups like that. They believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not have quality, does not have descriptions. Allah does not have knowledge. He does not have ability. He does not have the will to do and the will not to do. So to them, Allah does not have any quality. If they are asked, can you describe your God for us? They say, no, our God cannot be described. So if your God cannot be described, it shows that you are worshipping nothing. It is nothing that cannot be described. Something must be described. So now our Lord, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, has qualities, descriptions that we can describe Him with, of which is life, His ability, is the will, then the knowledge, and so on and so forth. Then ووصفه عز وجل بصفة المعلومات والجمادات والمستحيلات تعالى الله عن قولهم علوا كبيرا. So these people, they rejected the qualities of Allah, the sifat of Allah, while they established for him the qualities of nothingness. Nothingness. That is, he has no quality. Because when you see something does not have description, it shows what? That thing does not exist. So the Sheikh said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is free from this, their evil statement of what they said against Allah in arrogance. ويدخل في ذلك من نفى بعض الصفات وأثبت بعضها كالأشاعرة. The Sheikh said, among them in the same vein are those groups who believe in some qualities of Allah, why they rejected some. They picked some, they left some. Among them we have the heretic group called Al-Asha'ira, the Ash'arism. فإنه يلزمهم فيما أثبتوه من الصفات نظير ما فروا منه في الصفات التي نفوها وتأولوا أدلتها فخالفوا بذلك الأدلة السمعية والعقلية وتناقضوا في ذلك تناقضا بينا. This group and other groups like them, they established some qualities for Allah, why they reject others, not knowing that those qualities that they established also that they established for Allah, why they condemn others. The reason why they condemn those that they condemned is that they want to run away from describing Allah, giving Allah the qualities of the creatures. And rather, at the end of the day, they run from those qualities that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala establishes for himself in the Quran, and Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam established for him in the Sunnah. At the end of the day, they run away from those qualities that Allah established for himself, thinking that they don't want to describe him with their own qualities. So if you don't want to do that, what you mean is that you are rejecting the qualities established in the Quran and the Sunnah. And this is what the Ash'ariyah committed of grievous offenses. So because we are to establish for Allah what Allah established for himself, we are to establish for him what Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam informed us about him, and we keep quiet without making any similarities, without making any likeness, without making any examples, without making any comparison between our qualities and the qualities of God. We don't do that. We don't do that. So but for the Ash'ariyah, they are likening the qualities of God with the qualities of a human being. So once they believe that, or they see that these qualities are there in the essence of human beings, and Allah establishes the same qualities for himself in the Quran, the next thing, they rejected those qualities, or they involve themselves in what we call a ta'wil, manipulating those qualities, or giving the qualities the meanings, the far meaning of it, not the apparent meaning. So by that, they involve in rejecting all evidences available, both in the Sharia, as-Sam'iyya, and both the intellectual evidences. Amma Ahl Sunnati wal Jama'ah. As for the group of Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah, those who follow the teachings and the knowledge of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his practices, and also the knowledge from the companions and those that came after them, they are known to be Ahl Sunnah. فَقَدْ أَثْبَتُوا لِلَّهِ سُبْحَانَهُ مَا أَثْبَتَهُ لِنَفْسِهِ. This group established for Allah whichever name Allah has established for Himself in the Quran. أو أثبته له رسوله محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم من الأسماء والصفات. Or the Prophet informed them from the authentic narration about any name or any qualities of Allah. So the Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah, they submit to those names and those qualities. Ala wajhi al-kamal, in the perfect relation to God. Perfect relation. They believe that every name of Allah is perfect, as every quality of Allah is high, is supreme. وَنَزَّهُوهُ عَنْ مُشَابَهَةِ خَلْقِهِ تَنْزِيئًا بَرِيئًا مِنْ شَائِبَةِ التَّعْطِيلِ. Ahl Sunnah also, they made all efforts to purify Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to run away from mushabaha, making likeness of the qualities of the creatures with the qualities of the Creator. And they also run away from those, from the attitude of those who reject in totality the qualities of Allah. فَعَمِلُوا بِالْأَدِلَّةِ كُلِّهَا. Ahl Sunnah accepted all evidences from the Quran, from the Sunnah, and they also submitted to those evidences. وَلَمْ يُحَرِّفُوا وَلَمْ يُعَطِّلُوا. They did not involve in what we call tahrif, making a wrong translation or a wrong meaning of the qualities, and did not involve what we call ta'til, total rejection of the names and the qualities. وَسَلَّمُوا مِنَ التَّنَاقُضِ الَّذِي أو وَسَلِمُوا مِنَ التَّنَاقُضِ الَّذِي وَقْوَ فِيهِ غَيْرُهُمْ. They are at the end free from those contradictions that others groups of innovation found themselves. وَهَذَا هُوَ سَبِيلُ النَّجَاةِ. The Sheikh said, this is the path to the success, وَالسَّعَادَةِ فِي الدُّنْيَا وَالْآخِرَةِ, and this is the path to the safety in this world and the hereafter. وَهُوَ الصِّرَاطُ الْمُسْتَقِيمِ. It is the straight way, الَّذِي سَلَكَهُ سَلَفُ هَذِهِ الْأُمَّةِ وَأِمَّتُهَا, that the early Muslim leaders in the history of Islam, the path that they path through, the way and manner that they worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with. وَلَنْ يُصْلِحَ آخِرُهُمْ إِلَّا مَا صَلَحَ بِهِ أَوَّلُهُمْ. We should know that those we come at a later day cannot be successful in our journey of Islam, except we follow what made the early Muslims to be successful in the journey of Islam. And that is our submission, our total submission to every information in the Quran. Be it has to do with God, with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, of His names and His creatures, or it has to do with the act of worship, or it has to do with morality, character building, or it has to do with judgment and businesses, transactions. So they accept in totality the information from the Quran and from the Sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. وَتَرْكُوا مَا خَالَفَهَا, and they run away from everything that opposes it, everything that is not in line to the Quran, to the teachings of the Quran to the teachings of the Sunnah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Because Allah in many verses of the Quran also direct us to follow the Quran, the Sunnah, and the Amal al-Salaf, the teachings of the early Muslims. Allah says, وَمَنْ يُشَاكِكِ الرَّسُولِ, whoever that differs, that contradicts the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in his teachings, in his information, in his guidance, مِنْ بَعْدِ مَا تَبَيَّنَ لَهُ الْهُدَى, after the information of Allah, information of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has been given to him, the evidences have been raised against him. وَيَتَّبِعَ غَيْرَ سَبِيلِ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ, he refused to follow these evidences, but he followed the path different from the path of the companions. Ridwanullahi alayhim. Allah says, نُوَلِّهِ مَا تَوَلَّى, he shall abandon him, he shall leave him, he shall take him to be responsible for that path that each chooses of himself. وَنُسْلِهِ جَهَنَّمَ وَسَاءَتْ مَصِيرًا, and if such a person should die on that, then the hellfire is his reward, and it is the worst place for him. Inshallah, we continue next week on the next topic titled Nواقض al-Islam. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to increase our knowledge, our iman, and make us steadfast on the path of the Sunnah of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa sallama. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.